I am not a Pokemon fan. Yeah, I know. In fact, my first Pokemon experience wasn't until Sword and Shield. What a great game to start off with, right? Yeah, but actually, I somehow have nostalgia for that game, believe it or not. I don't know, it's something about that gen. My first game. Shoot, it's the only gen I played. But man, the vibes, the music, the towns, it all really just connected with me. I really loved this game when it came out, and I was one of the only ones that did love this game because everybody online was like, ew! But I think the reason I skipped out on Pokemon all this time was just because mostly the battle system. I love the collection aspect. In fact, I loved Pokemon Go and spent countless years searching for Pokemon around the city like a weirdo. I mean, no offense, because this was literally me and my friends for like 2 years straight. This new generation will have no idea how much of a chokehold this game had on the community. But I don't know, I just didn't like the whole battling concept, and the games just never looked that interesting to me. And that was just my whole problem, is JRPGs just didn't look that interesting to me. I often skipped out on things like Fire Emblem and Xenoblade because of this same reason. But after giving Sword and Shield a try, I absolutely fell in love with the characters, with the world, with the story, and definitely just collecting Pokemon and filling my decks, which I actually did. Which was fun until you came across a few batch of Pokemon that had you do the most ridiculous thing ever to evolve them, like run underneath a bridge at a certain time of day. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Galarian, you mask. I don't like you or your mom. see what I did there. But I completed my decks and then waited for the DLC, bought the DLC, never played the DLC. Then Legends Arceus rolled around, and I don't know what happened with this game. I actually really liked the open world or open zone aspect, and I liked the ability to be able to throw Pokeballs at the back of a Pokemon's head, but for some reason, I just stopped playing halfway through, and I never returned. I don't know why. Moving on. But then I want to fast forward a bit. The last game I actually played all the way through was Pokemon Legends ZA, which was another spin-off of the mainline series, because I really liked the battle system they showed off. After finishing Xenoblade Chronicles 1 for the first time, I actually really liked how it looked very similar to that battle system, more of a live action feeling, and I really liked it, and actually completely finished the game. I didn't 100% this one like I did Sword and Shield, but I had a pretty good time with it. But as somebody that just recently got started with the series, everybody's so negative about Pokemon in general. I mean, especially with ZA and its graphics, that's all I kept saying online is the Windows. Now you might be wondering what happened with Scarlet and Violet when it came out. Why are you wondering that? It felt like everybody in the world hated Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Random people hated it, diehard fans hated it, all my friends hated it, everyone hated this game, and most of the reason was because of the absolutely horrible graphics. Everything I seen about this game was just how ugly it was and how it literally looked like a PS1 game, and I'm somebody that really isn't that picky with graphics. You know, Nintendo makes super fun games to play. I don't really care about the graphics. They're cartoony games, who really cares? But oh my gosh, I couldn't even believe some of this stuff was real. And it wasn't even just how bad it looked, like it literally was just like the game was crashing, there were crazy glitches where people were getting stuck under the map, stuck into their own Pokemon, whatever this is.
So if you're wondering why my last mainline game was Pokemon Sword and Shield, that's the reason why. I didn't even feel like bothering with Scarlet and Violet. Also, you see what I'm doing here? I'm literally Scarlet and Violet right now.
Actually, this would be more like it. But at this point, fans were really starting to get fed up with the Pokemon company. This is a billion-dollar company that's getting absolutely blown out of the water by even Nintendo games that were on previous generations. Shoot, even games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom look 10 times better on the same hardware. So what was going on? Well, about a couple of days ago was the Pokemon Presents, and this time it's for Pokemon's 30th anniversary. This was a really big deal, and I think fans were really hoping that this time we saw real change and real effort given for this next mainline game. And they revealed to us Pokemon Wind and Waves. And oh my gosh, does this game look 20 times better than any Pokemon game we have ever seen. And I'm not joking. I know some people out there will still say, okay, now it's finally reached PS3 level graphics. Congratulations, but dude, this is such a huge plus. Like the water, it moves now. Like I said, normally graphics aren't my thing, but from what I've seen of Pokemon Wind and Waves so far, it's a freaking beautiful looking game. This trailer alone kind of already mentally healed Pokemon fans and has even gotten my attention, someone that hasn't been really on the series that much. I'm kind of on and off. This one's got my attention for sure. But this isn't even the real kicker. It's this. The single fact that this game isn't being rushed out for this year is such incredible news. Like, I don't think people truly understand, unless you're like a diehard Pokemon fan. You definitely understand. Fans have actually wanted longer development times. Could you imagine? But this is a series that shoots out new titles and spin-offs almost every single year, so yeah, I completely get it. And the fact that this is looking to be one of the longest gaps in between generations is such a positive, so that way they can actually properly cook this thing right. That, and of course, they wanted to give this holiday season for 3D Mario. I mean, like, why else? Duh. I'm not coping, you're coping. But it's not just that. Pokemon Poktopia comes out tomorrow, which is a kind of Minecraft, Animal Crossing, Dragon Quest Builders spin-off type of game where you're like building an island in a civilization, and a lot of people kind of wrote this game off at first, myself included, definitely, and I thought for sure this was just going to be a thing that was talked about for a little bit and it passes by and no one cares. Well, the reviews come out and it's like one of the best rated Pokemon games of all time, and this would probably be a good time to tell you that I'm not a life sim fan. I promise you I like video games. JRPGs are definitely growing on me. Like I said, I've played through Fire Emblem 3 Houses and even Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and I really like both of those games. But dude, life sim games bore me to freaking tears. I really try to like Animal Crossing New Horizons, but it's just not for me. After putting like 20 to 30 hours into that game, I was just like, this is not my thing. I don't want to grow flowers. But Nintendo's like, you're not running away from life sims this year. Here's a life sim. Here's a life sim. Here's a life sim. I get it, Nintendo. So for a while, Poktopia was something that I was just going to easily dismiss, but they actually pulled me in. After watching these reviews and really looking at what this game has to offer, I'm actually really interested in this game. As someone that normally doesn't like JRPGs all that much, and someone that really hates life sims, and on top of that, somebody that's not a big Pokemon fan, how in the world is this game even on my radar? Oh, I know why. Because the Switch 2 has no games. I'm kidding! Goodness gracious. Kind of kidding. No, but seriously, some of these reviews are insane. Like, Video Games Chronicles said it's the first must-have Switch 2 game so far. Acting like Donkey Kong Bonanza ain't a thing. Acting like Mario Kart World ain't a thing. Acting like Drag and Drive ain't a thing. No, those last two are just blatant lies. But for people to be praising a spin-off Minecraft, Animal Crossing-like Pokemon game, that's some high freaking praise. Like, a worthwhile must-have Switch 2 game? That's kind of insane. And from what I've heard, there's actually like real story and progression that can be made, and even secrets and cool lore that ties into a darker story about humans going extinct. This is literally sounding like a game for me now. I don't know, there's just something about humans dying that gets me excited. That sounds insane. Look, humans are sometimes horrible people. The theming in the world and the post-apocalyptic stuff, that's awesome. I like that. Lord Jesus, please help us all. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but something about this game is actually enticing me. I genuinely might actually pick this one up. But for the first time in a long time, the future looks extremely bright for Pokemon. I mean, in fact, I hardly ever make Pokemon videos on this channel. So look, it's got me to make a video. It's doing something right. And the Switch 2 might not have the best Mario Kart, or it may not have that 3D Mario or 3D Zelda or Smash Brothers or Mario Maker or Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing. It doesn't really have anything yet. But as of right now, it looks like Pokemon's off to a phenomenal start on the new hardware. So hopefully Pokemon Win in Waves has plenty of time to cook, because you know, Nintendo announced this game right now in the month of March, and it's not coming out until next year. So Nintendo, why can't you announce the next 3D Mario?